start a little bit about talking about the relationship between your two characters, because in the first couple of episodes we don't really see an awful lot, but I sort of get the sense that there's an emotional distance between these characters since season 2, and I don't want to read anything into it, but I'm curious how you guys are playing it as father and son in season 3.
You know, it's I'm actually closer to him now, you know, with everything, because, you know, I don't want to hang out with old pregnant mom and Cheryl, you know. So yeah. And not just that, you know, Carl has found out about the affair that Rory had with Shane, and so he feels betrayed by her, you know, and so he's kind of hanging around more with his dad, you know. So
that's right, because you know, this killing of Shane, I think, was, if ever there was a rites of passage, that was it, you know. And I think that, you know, jumping forward has been a really important thing for the show, because when we hit the ground, we don't cover much distance, so it puts pressure on the group with the time bomb with the baby, you know. I think that for me, it's just, you know, this seemingly irrevocable rift between Laurie and Rick. You know, Mama and Papa are not talking anymore, and I think that that's changed the group dynamic a lot. You know, having the other alpha male leave, you know, irony, you know, T-Dog appears, you know, and also Herschel has become the sort of the mediator in the group. No, they haven't talked, and I think that certainly, you know, that's the way we played it, was that he's the boy soldier now. This is the story about a child turning into a boy, into a soldier, you know, that's the only way for him. If we didn't do that, we would have a Sophia on our hands, you know. That's what they've realised, and there's an unspoken rift between Laurie and Rick, and a common understanding that this is the only way to do it. It's brutal, but this is the world that we inhabit, and it's very much about when they see the prison. Rick sees the potential. He really sees that this could mean a semblance of normality or some future for him. But certainly, this is one of the great shifts that I've enjoyed working this season with Chandler is the change in responsibility. Seeing this, you know, you taught me and you whatever the other day. I mean, he's calling his father into line, certainly, at some scenes. We did a very cool scene the other day, which I can't tell you because it would give so much
just
away.
Us.
No, yeah. But it was just great to have this shift, and just to hear my sons, you know, pull me up on a big, you know, it's just, and that's the great thing about this job, is the change. It's all about change. You know, that's the attraction of playing all of these roles, is that you can't help but change. If you don't change, you die. If you don't adapt, you die in this world. You know?
Can you talk about a time recently, while you were filming, or maybe you were on break, and
on break? We don't
lunch maybe, where you know, you're just hanging out, maybe looking at some of the makeup effects or some of the zombies, and you're just like, this is an awesome job. Like a moment recently where that's happened.
Pretty much every time.
Every day.
Yeah. Every day. You know, because now we see them every day.
It is. I mean, it's a beautiful thing. I mean, don't get us wrong. We know this is I mean, we can't believe our luck. We pinch ourselves. We go to work every day, and no scene is the same. You know, that's the beauty of doing this job, is that the writers keep pushing the envelope, and you keep sort of changing up things. I think by definition of the show, you know, you lose key characters, but the show reinvents itself, and I think it will be the enduring strength of the show, is that we're telling this crazy story. There was a time when the first time we meet Michonne was great, though, wasn't it? Yeah, it was. Yeah. It was just like when we were doing this. For all of us, it was an emotional, kind of intense moment. But the first take went off, and you know, Greg and the team, K and B, were doing a practical blood cutting with a blood pump and a head, and a mannequin and a samurai sword. And I heard this thunk, and I wasn't looking, and he wasn't looking. He just went, "That is so That's all I heard. It was probably on camera, you know what I mean? It's just, and it is. It's just amazing. It's like my parents came on set last week, and they just said, "This is extraordinary." And I never let them on set. I just never, because it's just I feel self-conscious, and because I'm in dialect as well all the time, it feels weird. But because I love the crew and cast so much, they're my family there, and everybody's worked on it all 3 seasons, which has a vital impact, I think. And it shows in the show. They just said it was like the golden ticket. They just went, "This is the wildest thing they've ever seen."
Chandler, the stuff that Carl goes through this season, hearing about what's going to happen is one thing, but when you actually were doing a lot of these heavy scenes, which I don't know exactly what it is, but I keep hearing it's pretty dark stuff. Was it something that you were surprised that you were able to grab onto, or did you have to really work hard to kind of get to where Carl is in the show?
Well, I mean, when I'm trying to think, when I was reading the scripts, I was thinking I wasn't going to be able to do this, just because some of the scenes that I have are just so heavy, on the character. It just has such an impact that I don't know if I would be able to do it, and I didn't know if it would work out with the writing and everything, But and I mean, I hate watching myself too. I like criticize myself and everything, but but I mean, it's not just taking a toll. It's not like taking a toll on Carl. Some of the scenes, it's him as well. And I think
he's so modest. This kid, just in every sense of the word, is killing it this season. I mean, he's just. I was coming. There was one scene that he was doing, and he just was preparing to go on the scene, and he was in floods of tears just before the scene, and then stopped crying for the scene. That's the kind of actor this kid is. That's the coolest thing I've ever seen. He was crying before the scene, and I just was like, "Are you okay? Come out. Is everything all right?" He went, "No, I'm just getting ready," and then did the scene. That's just, that for me just blew me away. And saying that it's just, we're very, very lucky to have him, because he's just a natural. He can just instinctively do it. People train. I went to train to do what he does naturally. It drives me mad. And then he just goes and plays, Fruit Ninja in between.
Chandler, what does the TV Carl think about the comic book Carl? Have you gotten to look and see and go, "Oh crap, I hope that doesn't happen to me," or "Oh, I wonder if that is going to happen to me"? Do they let you look, or do they say, "Don't touch the comics"?
I read the comics, on my own, and it's really cool, with the hole through my head. It'll be really, really cool if we even get that far, of course. But I mean, it's just really, really cool, just to see the change with Carl, happening so much faster in the comics, and because there's no time jump from season 2 to season 3, just to have, I mean, the comic book helped me prepare as well, like I said, with the time jump and everything, and there's no time jump with the comics. It really has helped me, just to see what I have to, what my expectations are, So to be able to do this.
So have you been asking for an eye patch yet?
I haven't yet, but of course it's pretty deep into the comics, and each season is a volume of the comics, like season 1 was volume 1 of the comics, so that's kind of where that is, but it's we'll see, if we get up to season 14, 15.
I can't wait to retire and let him take over.